Tell me, do you like to play hide and seek? If so, well, have I got the town just for you. That town, Hidetown, is just a short few miles down Highway 28 from Panther Creek. By the way, this is where this here Highway 28, transforms from a 4-lane to a 2-lane road. Not sure about how hidden a town Hidetown really is, though it certainly is one that anyone can easily overlook. Situated to the west or south of Highway 28, it is defined by only one main road. This here is Hidetown Road, Hidetown's only main thoroughfare. As this map clearly shows, Hidetown Road, it mainly curves down and then back around to Highway 28 in a kind of circle. Yes, there is this road here, Colsiah Cove Road. It extends down from near the apex of Hidetown Road, though it clearly is nothing of a main road. This here is Stacoa Road, the road Hidetown Road connects to on its way back up to Highway 28. Just before this intersection here, there do exist a couple of churches right over there. For this episode, we will not be concerned with those. They are more aligned with the town this road here is named after, Stacoa. For the purposes of this episode, we will only be concerned with predominantly the first half of Hidetown Road. The most prominent landmark here in Hidetown, it may very well be this. If you ever need to store some of those prized belongings of yours, there is here Stacoa Storage and its array of storage sheds, where you can do exactly that. And they're easy to find. You simply cannot miss them while driving down Highway 28. They're right at the intersection of Hidetown Road. So, folks, as this map clearly shows, there are a few historic resources right here in Hidetown. Therefore, Hidetown certainly does have a few secrets hidden away in its confines. So, there are a couple of things that do need to be said. As recently as 2020, there appears to have been done a Section 106 review, and with that came this document, chock full of Graham County historic oddities. Structures associated with Hidetown, yes, they do appear in this document. Therefore, the majority of information culled for this episode can be found right here in this 500-page document. Secondly, I need you to take another hard look at this map. Notice, at the top, toward the right, along Highway 28, in bold letters, the name of the town, Hidetown. Notice along Hidetown Road, the name of the road. It's spelt Hidetown with a Y, like Jekyll and Hyde. Yet the town is listed as being Hidetown, spelt with an I, almost as if they focused on the town being hidden. Actually, it probably should be spelt with a Y. Let me explain. This here, it is the Walt and Joan Hyde house. Yes, it's a ranchy-styled house built in the early 1960s, therefore neither greatly historic nor spectacular. What it does do, however, is shed some light on the origins of Hidetown. Yes, the family name is Hyde, spelt with a Y. Now, given this house is on private property, I have snapped 5 photos. Using only those 5 photos, let's begin the discussion of this most important Hidetown resource. The land associated with this house, the Walton Joan Hyde House, has been owned by the Hyde family since the early 20th century. This present house, it was constructed by Walton Joan Hyde in 1963. Walt Hyde was born on September 17th of 1932 to local Stokoe farmers, Harley and Claudia Heiss Hyde. Walt Hyde, he served as a sergeant in the Korean War between 1950 and 1953. Around 1956, Walt Hyde married Joan Crisp, also of Stokoe. According to the Hyde's son, this house, it was constructed in 1963. Walt Hyde, he supported his family by teaching shop classes for Graham County schools, though not sure which ones. Walt Hyde passed away in 2015, and shortly thereafter, this property, it was transferred to his sons, Jeffrey and William Mitchell Hyde. Today, in 2022, the house is occupied by Joan Crisp Hyde. Situated on the south side of Hidetown Road, the house, it sits on an irregularly shaped 3.85-acre lot. The house is oriented with its facade facing northwest. The lot is nestled on a steep slope that overlooks Hidetown Road. The property is accessed by a semicircular drive off Hidetown Road. Immediately surrounding the house is a manicured yard, and there are mature bushes planted next to the house. Architecturally, the Walton Joan Hyde House, it is a hipped-roof ranch-styled dwelling built in 1963. The main block, with its low-slung hip roof, has 2 intersecting hip roof sections at its west and at its east ends, containing a garage and the bedrooms, respectively. An interior stone slab chimney does project from the northwest face of the composite shingle roof. The house, it sits on a below-grade basement, which is accessed by a metal double-leaf door with an entry pent on the southwest elevation. Given the house is thrust so high above the road, there really is no viewing of the foundation, at least without stepping high up onto the property. Therefore, I have no way of confirming the basement, nor that double-leaf door. Regardless, the majority of the exterior is clad in crab orchard stone veneer with an accent of vertical wood on the front of the main block. An entry stoop supported by a single replacement wood post does exist on the east wall of the west bedroom wing. The windows throughout the house are 1/1 vinyl replacement sashes. Also on the site stands a circa 1985 1.5-story gambrel roof garage. It is located 40 feet southeast, faced with stone and partially built into the hillside. The upper story is wrapped with vinyl siding, and the outbuilding itself, it is capped by a sheet metal roof, and it is oriented to face northwest, just like the house. A 2-bay roll-up metal garage door is centered over the first-story bay, a bay that you will not be seeing. Simply stated, it is not visible from this vantage point. The half-story is 3 bays wide, with a modern single-leaf door located in the center bay, and 1/1 vinyl sash windows do flank the door. And that, folks, is the Hyde House. Taking Hidetown Road now past Calciac Cove Road, just slightly past, not even a mile, to this here, the Jenkins Cemetery. Now, there are what appears to be scant information about the cemetery. Overall, though, it is somewhat small and believed to date from at least 1874. There are lots of graves in this cemetery that do bear the name of Hyde. This cemetery features the grave of this man, William Jackson Hyde, who holds a birth year of 1866. And this cemetery, it began as a family cemetery, and eventually it became a community cemetery managed by, you guessed it, the Stokoe Baptist Church. The entrance, split rail fencing, and a large number of burials, 226 between 1905 and 2020, does identify this cemetery, the Jenkins Cemetery, as a community cemetery. One name that does not appear in this cemetery, however, at least according to Find a Grave, is Stiles. Now, that could be a bit interesting because of what lies just a tad bit down this road, Calcaya Cove Road. You see, this is the Stile House, a 1.5-story, side-gabled log house fitted with a shed porch. It features a metal roof with shingled gables and 2/2 wood sash replacement windows. Reportedly, the rear log wing has been removed. There are other outbuildings on the site, as well as an associated 1940s-era house. This document does reference the house, but with scant information. Instead, the house is listed with a reference to a study list and a possible document from 2004. Maybe, just maybe, that is where you would need to look for historic information on this interesting log house. That, however, may take a call to the State Historic Preservation Office, since that document appears to be elusive through easier means. This here, it is a mapping utility used by the State Historic Preservation Office. It shows the Stile House as a contributing resource to GH0347. Well, that's a bit interesting, even a bit mysterious. Here's why. You see, GH0347, that points to the Cheoah Historic District, which, as this map clearly shows, is a number of miles away. So, tell me, you log house, how in the world are you associated with that section? Well, one thing is certain. You are listed as simply the Stile House, as this excerpt clearly shows. Is it simply Stile, or is it Stiles with an S? If this info here is correct, that you are somehow associated with the Cheoah District area, then tell me, you log house, are you somehow associated with this here history of the Oliver Stiles homesteads? Or associated with some other Stiles family memory? Yes, log house, you certainly are quite mysterious. Were you built at this location, or have you been moved? Those are questions inquiring minds want to know, but until those questions can be answered, we must move on.